One of 7-Eleven's most beloved employees just got fired. But this wasn't a routine pink slip, it was a content creation moment turned corporate showdown. This was someone who filmed himself during nights behind the counter, turned that footage into a YouTube series, and, without missing a shift, entertained millions. So why did 7-Eleven really fire him? And is this now being called one of the most significant brand blunders in recent memory? Let's dive deep. Ian wasn't just another retail worker. For more than 3 years he labored graveyard shifts in a 7-Eleven in California. Just him, the buzzy neon lights, and a security camera that became his unofficial co-star. What began as quick clips of store life blossomed into full-fledged YouTube episodes. The chaos of late-night customers, those quirky regulars who arrived at all hours, coffee machine breakdowns, and that oddball ecosystem of a 24/7 convenience store. Fans were hooked. His dry humor, his genuine demeanor, his unfiltered storytelling turned an otherwise mundane environment into something must-watch. He wasn't chasing fame, he was sharing real moments. And that authenticity is what made him utterly relatable. But that very trust, that transparency, is probably why he was fired. The real reason behind the firing. For months, the accepted narrative was that Ian got the boot for drinking a non-alcoholic beer on camera at work. But the full story is far messier. During a live stream, Ian revealed something shocking. 7-Eleven's corporate office had sent a letter to the store's owner. Inside, screenshots of Ian filming while working. The message was blunt: mute this content or shut us down. Corporate gave an ultimatum: fire Ian or the whole store gets closed. The owner reportedly didn't want to fire him. This wasn't about a beer. It was about control and image. Corporate didn't want unsupervised footage, even if harmless. Ian had become too visible, too real, too human. He wasn't just a cashier, he was publicity. And for a massive brand, that kind of exposure can be uncomfortable. In that moment, Ian's coworker Armando said he wouldn't take down his videos, even if it meant losing his job. He chose to protect the owner, deleting his videos not out of cowardice but out of loyalty. He didn't want a guy who had nothing to do with the content to lose his livelihood. That decision made fans recognize he wasn't just another online creator. He was a compassionate, principled person. He called it a sign. A push to leave California and do something bigger. Because when a corporation tries to silence someone this real, the internet doesn't stay silent. The fan-led fallout. Almost instantly Ian's subscriber count exploded. What was once around 19,000 skyrocketed past 100,000 in a matter of days. Donations flooded in during live streams. Reddit threads went off, overtaken by memes, conspiracy theories, and immense support. One user said, "They fired the best promoter they've ever had." Another asked, "Why would you fire the only reason I actually liked going to 7-Eleven?" Ian transformed from underdog clerk to symbol. This wasn't just about an employee, people felt a connection, a shared grind, a story they recognized in themselves. Was this always coming? Theories abound. Some commenters suggest Ian's videos may have revealed store-level issues. Rodents, broken equipment, freezers failing, the kinds of moments big brands prefer stay off camera. Reddit users echoed this. His videos started appearing on my feed. My first thought was, how has he not been fired for this? One post added, "So many things that made me cringe. Ease of theft, rodents, but it was the beer they chose." These hints paint a picture of an unsanitized reality, maybe too raw for corporate comfort. Other fans believe the franchise owner was under long-term pressure. Maybe there were whispered warnings. Then the channel blew up and suddenly the tables turned. The sympathy surge, real or temporary? Reddit users debated whether this was a genuine support wave or a temporary sympathy rush. As one comment in our /partnered YouTube described, he put out over 100 vlog-style videos before gaining any real traction. I don't see it as milking pity, he's just telling his story. 2guysgaming.net. Another added, his career was built before being fired, he's been doing positivity for around 12 years. But was it sustainable? They cautioned, what happens when the sympathy runs out? Yet many agreed the donations weren't pity, they were a reflection of how much people resonated with his journey. A massive brand misstep? Let's lay it out. Ian didn't cost the company money, in fact his content promoted it for free. He made the store feel human, relatable, and almost lovable. Yet, when his influence peaked, corporate responded with threat and silence. They didn't just fire an employee, they erased a genuine connection. That's not just losing staff, it's losing trust. Could 7-Eleven have handled this better? Absolutely. Imagine. A simple sit-down, "Hey Ian, your videos are cool, but can we work on approvals first?" Footage review policies and content guidelines implemented transparently. Or better yet, a partnership. "Ian, let's showcase store life the right way." Instead, it was an ultimatum. And in today's world, silencing authenticity almost always backfires. Broader implications: creator versus corporation. Ian's situation isn't unique, it's part of a larger conflict in 2025. Creators are independent, relatable, transparent. Corporations crave control, polish, and predictability. When someone like Ian gets fired because he's too real, it's a sign of mismatch between modern internet culture and traditional brand management. Audiences now expect authenticity, not glossy messaging. They want flaws, real talk, unscripted moments. They want humanity. Ian delivered that. And now he's free to keep doing it without corporate filters holding him back. Final takeaway. So here's where we land. A loyal, hardworking creator who quietly filmed behind a counter got silenced for being too good at what he did. A massive brand cut off its own heart when it should have been fostering it. Ian wasn't just fired, he was freed. Freed from rules, from hassles, and from working for a brand afraid of its own humanity. And as for 7-Eleven, they didn't just fire an employee, they fired a future voice. A real, unfiltered connection they never realized belonged to them. In a world where authenticity wins hearts, is firing people who make your brand feel real really worth it? High Voltage the cliffhanger. So, viewers, here's what I want you to think about. In 2025, when influencers and creators are more powerful than glossy ads, will corporate brands adapt, or continue to silence the voices that matter? Ian's journey with 7-Eleven might be over, but his future? That might just be the beginning.